Hi guys, this is Bill from Spencer1984.com with another update to the Terminator custom pickup truck. And this update's been a bit delayed and still isn't quite where I wanted it to be, but we'll get to that in a minute. First up though, what I have done, I've got the engine just about finished now. Went with the carbureted intake instead of the fuel injection. Just seemed more appropriate for this truck. The distributor is the part that came in this kit. I just drilled it out, added the wires, and I still need to add the HEI topper to it. Up front here, this is the belt assembly out of an MPC Firebird, because the one that came in the kit just had the water pump, crank, and alternator. And I figured this vintage, especially something in Southern California, it should have had power steering and an air conditioner on it. So I swapped that out and fit pretty good. So this is just about ready to drop in. To the cab, where you can see a little bit of ghosting on the filler, but otherwise this is just about ready to go. I think a little bit more wet sanding and this will be ready for a color coat. Inside, I've got the CB radio, and I added a scratch-built microphone and a scratch-built coiled cable to it. I also did a scratch-built shift lever because the one that came in it was garbage. It was way too thick, way too much flash. But I did like the T-handle style, seemed very appropriate. So I kept the style, just made my own. Added some custom dash gauges and a scratch-built directional lever there. This is the kit supplied wheel. I do need to add a decal to the horn button there. But again, otherwise this is ready to go. And then the last thing is the box. I added the filler panel across here, where on the movie truck, I assume they had installed squibs there so that when the Terminator was shooting at the truck and it made the bullet holes, you could see that the tailgate was actually flush without the recessed panel that these should have had. So I thought that was an interesting little custom touch, and I've decided to mimic that here. And again, like the roof, could use one last shot of wet sanding, but otherwise is ready to go. So what I haven't done, or at least for this update, is I wanted to have this on the chassis. But got some wheels and tires picked out, and I set everything up, and the tires didn't look right. The actual overall stance didn't look right. And the more I looked at it, the more I realized that I had installed the rear axle wrong. So I had to tear that out, and that's gluing right now. Of course, taking it back apart, I busted one of the leaf springs. So that's all pinned, got some new parts in there, and that's not going to be ready for show for another few days at least. So rather than delay things further, figured I'd show you where I was on it now, and we'll go from there. And the last few bits, like the custom front and rear pipe bumpers and driving lights, are going to be 3D printed parts that I drew up and am having done at Shapeways right now. But there's a bit of a delay, so I may have to put this project on hold when it gets to a certain point until those arrive. But I can have everything else wrapped up and put those on as the last thing. So I will be having another update, hopefully with this in paint, and hopefully I won't make any more trouble for myself on the chassis. And we'll go from there. So check back next week for an update on that, and thanks for watching.